Hello dear students. In this video, we're going to speak about past habits and states. We use used to plus infinitive to talk about past habits or things that happened repeatedly in the past but don't happen anymore. For example, I used to teach English when I was living abroad. To talk about past states, we use used to with non-action verbs. Things that were true in the past but are not true anymore. For example, she used to be very shy when she was a child. To make negative sentences, we use didn't used to with infinitive. For example, he didn't used to do any exercise, but now he runs marathons. We can also use never used to instead of didn't used to. For example, I never used to like football, but I watch it every week now. To make questions, we use did used to. For example, did they used to live in the city center? Didn't you used to have long hair? We can also use past simple with frequency adverbs to talk about past habits. For example, I always met her at the bar down the street. Or I used to meet her at the bar down the street. I usually had a big salad for dinner. Or I used to have a big salad for dinner. Both sentences mean the same. But we have to use a past simple if we mention exact dates or a number of times. And when the action happened only once. For example, we went to the cinema on Saturday. We often use not anymore or any longer with the present simple to contrast with used to. For example, I used to go to the gym, but I don't anymore or any longer. Also, we shouldn't confuse used to, didn't used to with be used to or get used to. I'm used to getting up early every day. It means I'm accustomed to it. I always do it, so it is not a problem for me. Lola can't get used to living in the UK, which means she can't get accustomed to it, so it's a problem for her. Used to is only used in the past. To talk about present habits, we should use the present simple tense with usually or normally. For example, I usually get up very early at weekends. We don't usually play on Sunday. We can also use would to talk about repeated past actions that don't happen anymore. For example, every Saturday I would go on a long bike ride. My dad would read me amazing stories every night at bedtime. Both sentences mean that the actions don't happen anymore. Would for past habits is slightly more formal than used to. It is often used in stories. We don't normally use a negative or question form of would for past habits. Also, we should note that we can't usually use would to talk about past states. That's why we use would only with action verbs.